Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Star Citizen Monday Q&A, for when we actually have enough to put together to actually do one of these. This year it looks like it might be turning out to be the biggest drought. I thought last year's drought would be the the most, but I have a feeling that um, we are such in hold pattern for the new net code and such like that, that so much stuff is sitting in the background waiting for that I think we're really still going to be in a much greater desert. They may introduce new ships, they may introduce some minor stuff, but I don't see it being a lot of things this year. Who knows? Miracles could happen, right? So I've looked at some of the stuff over the past few weeks, and basically, by the way, someone's in chat land out there. If you could just type something in chat real quick, to know I know that it's working. Ever since the the blow up with the chat issue before, I just never. Okay, okay, thank you, Radlite. I appreciate that. Okay, so now I know that works. That's a weight off my mind. So I want to take in some footage. This is actually the first day I've had off. Um, in almost a month. So I actually got off tonight, so I was actually able to stay up a little bit and work on some editing. So I'm very happy about that. So I'm looking forward to not working tonight. So I would expect, from when you're looking at the roadmap changes that came out, that we're going to be looking at Evocati probably this week or next week at the latest. And since we looked at the previous Evocati, uh, it was almost like a few days, and then it went to PTU, right? Uh, and my brother's got a clock going there. So anyway, so the thing is that of course Captain Tyler's here. Anyway, so by the
You
chime
can
of the
hear
bell.
the clock from
Yeah,
another room away.
yeah, exactly. That's fine. Anyway, so the thing is that the last time they had Evocati, it was like 3 days. Yeah, it's a work around in some countries. It could be. Um, uh, and then it went to like PTU, and because there's really not a whole bunch of stuff unless you count like bartender and things like that. It's some sort of massive, you know, improvement to the game, some sort of deep, uh, my ship's still in the hangar. They said they were recalling it like 20 minutes ago. Well, whatever. Anyway, so I would expect that to happen, and I would expect a very fast turnaround, maybe even within the same week to go to PTU. And if that happens, I'll share what I can as soon as I can. All right, so let's go ahead and bring up some of the clips I put together. Of course, we've had a string of ship updates since everything in the last few weeks. So, looks like I messed up on the wording there. My little logo covers it, but you get the idea. Drake Corsair, of course. Um, this is one of the ships that I own. The turret in the back is a real problem because it points into the hull. I don't know what they're thinking, putting an arbitrary bump like that. I don't. That literally blocks the turret. It is the dumbest. I don't know. They're gonna have to
It's not
fix
the
that.
first time
Yeah, that
on the first ship.
if it's a remote turret, lift it up or put it on that thing that's up there. Like it looks like it's a remote turret, so like lift it up or put it on top of that thing. There's no need for you to literally put, you know, to put it where it's put. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But it's coming along. I think they're actually out of white box phase now and into gray box. So we should be seeing this beauty, and I'll be more than happy to do a tour of that when the time comes as well. I do love Drake ships for the simplicity of them, the kind of the raw mechanical nature of them, and CIG did something dumb. News at 11. Yeah, and of course in there Drake shipped the Vulture, which is close to final art. This is the wear and
Eh,
tear pass. Um, yeah, it's one of those ships that once we get salvage of any kind, and I'm gonna bring up something about that here as well, in a few clips down the road. But this is another one of mine. Same thing. I'll do a tour of this, and hopefully the functionality is in because I've had my reclaimer forever, and it's been relatively speaking a pointless ship, unfortunately. As much as I would like it to be more useful. And of course, more interiors of the Banu Merchantman. Uh, Alien bathrooms you're looking at, like basically like
I
what?
was waiting to see if you were going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Oh,
So do they poop like upside down? I mean, I don't know. But the point is that I do like this architecture in some of these medical rooms and bedrooms. This is pretty cool stuff. Um,
and Jared just takes his headpiece and puts it on the ground and walks away.
yeah, yeah. I
That's
mean,
the end of my stream.
exactly.
Talking about bathrooms and the
Yeah.
Banu
Places
Merchantman.
to wash your hands, so it's good.
Yeah,
It's always important to wash your hands after you go to an intergalactic toilet because you never know
maybe
what
they
you're actually
used
gonna get. You know,
Maybe they used the 3 seashells.
they could use the three seashells. They could also have to use a flamethrower afterwards. The
They
landing
could.
gear are pretty impressive. Exactly right. I said the same thing. Said the seashells.
Ah,
Now,
did he?
yeah. So okay. So this is the look at when the landing gear come down here. That back comes down kind of hard. It needs to level out more. Like come down so because it lands too much on the point. You'll see what I'm talking about. Like look at the point right there at the end and bink. That would really damage whatever you're landing on. That part of it needs to be auto adjust to level to the ground. And looking at that though, I really want to land on a person. I really want to drop that landing gear right on a person. I mean, would you get points for that? The RSI Scorpius. This is another one of my ships. Is why I also own the Banner Merchantman. So you'll see all these when they come out. RSI Scorpius. This will be a fun one my brother and I can use. It's getting towards final art stages. This one I think might actually come out in the first run of Evocati because it looks like it's so close to being done that we may have this very soon. The
I just
hulls.
want to see what control is going to make it so you can
Yeah,
position that turret
it's a
top
remote
to
turret.
bottom.
It's a remote turret, so we'll see.
Well, I want to
Yeah,
know is how that's going to do, how it's going to switch.
yeah, we'll see. So the Hull C, this is what I'll be loaned while I'm waiting for my Hull D to come out. This will be interesting. I want this will go with the cargo refactor, and I want to see how that comes along as well. The cargo is a huge deal to me. I've been waiting adamantly for CIG to create some solid gameplay loops for cargo, better than what we have right now, which is can't buy much, can't sell much, and or if you want to do if you don't have a cargo ship, you ship a box like FedEx and you know um, yeah, tons of working landing gear. Can I have a working elevator or an elevator when you lift up the would damage the landing gear itself? Absolutely. What you'd want to have,
Yeah.
you'd want to have something smoother. You definitely would want to have something smoother to make that. Man, if this thing has 3 decks, how many decks is my hull D gonna have? That just makes me wonder. Um, the hull D doesn't have many more crew. Has like I think one more crew requirement than the C, and that's why I went with it as opposed to the E, which took way more crew. Um, The ladder doesn't have its own gravitational field, yeah. Or like this sucks you right to it, you know. It looks good. It looks good. So yeah, I some of the ship updates here. So let me jump on to the next thing here. Of course, the planetary navigation mesh. Uh, this is kind of cool because they have to do it dynamically because of the fact that planets and areas are too large. And part of this mesh rework too, I guess they're going to be redoing some of the cities a little bit, especially Lorville, because Lorville has a lot of things about it that are wrong. I remember them talking about it's not directly mesh related, but some of the buildings are too small to put interiors in. They're just kind of background objects, and they want to redo that so it's not a thing, so that you can actually decide to use those. So this looks pretty cool. To be able to lay out all the walkable areas so the AI can navigate. It's still like if you see the way it kind of undulates there a little bit, it looks like the way it's kind of pulsating. That it still needs to be kind of locked in a bit tighter. But I'm looking forward to seeing AI actually being able to navigate on surfaces and have missions that are out in the wilderness, and maybe start having a reason to have sniper rifles and things like that where you can do a long range engagement. As a player of Arma, I would say that to me that's a huge deal. I love long range engagements in Arma, and like right now having sniper rifles inside of a building really just feels wasteful. Uh, you see that looks like these could be these meshes. Maybe it could be a little bit tighter, but maybe they're doing that for safety's sake. They don't want to push too tight because the AI could get stuck up on things. And I've seen a lot of games where AI easily gets jammed up on obstacles. They're kind of walking weird there. That kind of almost looks like they should stick their hands out and walk like an Egyptian on that scene. Um, oh yeah, Starfarer ladders are the number one for vacuuming. Yeah, things will be vaporware for
That's
you.
that's how you get rid of borders. You make sure that when people come and try to storm the Starfarer, that
Yeah, you just
they
put
instantly
ladders
get stuck.
everywhere, and
Ladders everywhere, and they can't get anywhere.
yeah.
It's like, help! I'm
I'm just
being
moving around
sucked
in the
in.
game so it doesn't kick me out for
It's
being
a
AFK. So
built-in trap.
yeah, there's some of the text on there, but yeah, this is I would be happy to see people patrolling, and they say possibly 318, 319, which means probably when server meshing is done. I don't see them having any like it's nice that they would have this. They could use this for fauna out in the wilderness as well. But until we get server meshing, where basically you get your localized zones, it's going to be pretty hard for them to add a lot more NPCs to the game because it's really going to bog down the servers. So I see this being something that's going to get pushed into the back burner for that reason and that reason primarily. All right, so another thing, it's somewhat Star Citizen related, but it's another game. I play X4, and I'm going to have to restart a game because when my hard drive died, you know, it is what it is. But they have, in the 14th, they have X4's expansion called Avarice coming out, and it's going to introduce new mechanics such as salvaging. So I clipped some of that out for the trailer. Okay. The reason I wanted to show this is because right now we have the Crest 2 multi-tool version coming out. So what they do is they approach these frames, these derelict, like they've been stripped down already. So what they're doing here is they're tearing down the frames of whatever's left, and then it's compressing the steel into bales. And then the bales are picked up by another ship through a tractor beam, and then they're transported over to a facility where they're basically then dropped off to be processed and separated into their basic components that can be used to build your base, or to just to be sold, or whatever you do in the game. It is a sandbox game. So I'm actually planning on playing this one again. I think I make it a stream every week as I dig back into it with all the new expansion stuff. But now, what where Star Citizen would need to take this further, obviously, is that we have the going into a ship. You first want to maybe take out the crucial components, shield generators, weapons, any sort of component that could be sold separately. And once you've done that, then basically then you would you'd hopefully ideally be able to cut the hull into sections. I know they're talking about hull stripping, but they've also talked about soft body mechanics at one point. So anyway, the point is that eventually you get all your expensive components out. Then you go ahead and do the hull stripping. Then you have the frame, and then this. And having grown up on a farm, we used to bale hay all the time. This reminds me of a hay baler, basically for steel. Um, but when I look at this, I see a gameplay loop that can be done. Now I know this is a single player game, but apply this to Star Citizen, where you'd have groups of people going out. You'd have people if there was like a graveyard of ships, people out there stripping parts inside. Then you'd have, when they're done, you'd have another group of people out there stripping hull, and then you have another ship like the Redeemer coming out. Sorry, the Reclaimer, and then grinding up the remaining body. And then there's an ejection. There's like a cargo ejection thing in the back. So I guess if you want to, you can even offload, so you can keep working. Someone can then take that. So you could have a whole guild working together in an area, promoting multi-crew and multi-ship gameplay to support your guild.
It's like EVE
Fleet.
Online. When we used to do fleet mining, if anyone had an Orca, and I had an Orca, so it had bonuses with its tractor beams to grab people's jet cans. So if people were mining in the jet cans with their mining rigs and mining barges, you could quickly just snag them, and they had bonuses versus regular tractor beams for long range and speed.
Right,
and they would sit there in its special hangar collecting nothing but materials.
And don't forget, one of the defining features of X4 is every ship in the game that you see, you can own and fly. I think the exception is the alien race. I'm not sure. I haven't captured one of those. But basically, if you see it from the smallest ship to the biggest capital, you can own it and fly it. And that's one of the really cool things about the game. You can really have fleets and then run them like an RTS, which is a bit more tricky, but you can do it. I want to keep it small when I play again, and maybe just establish a base and not a fleet. The fleet thing was way too complicated. If I just establish a base, then maybe I can just build an empire of well defended bases, and then let people do the transporting there. So that's what I'm thinking anyway when I decide to do it again. Trying to approach it from a different angle. You had a nightmare, Rogo says. I was playing Eve, and not only should I report me for chemical castration. And there were people mining and salvaging. It was more complex and engaging than Star Citizen. I woke up sweating. So yeah. So this looks promising. As I said, it's not a perfect system, but you have to admit there's a gameplay loop here. There's an actual potential gameplay loop, and down the road, eventually, as you know, I mean, X is going to go multiplayer at some point. You can imagine this, that you invite friends in and you work together, and then they cross over to your world or however it would work, and then you would do this, and then gosh, that would be so cool. Let's hope that one of the two games, either Star Citizen does it first. I'd have no need to play X5 if that's a feature there, and if X5 has it first, it would really kick Star Citizen in the teeth, because people will get the private servers they want, and they will get a lot of the features. So, well, obviously, except for maybe the ground planets and stuff. But hey,
Does X have a studio behind it, or is that one person?
EgoSoft.
Is Egosoft okay?
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, on to the one of the bigger ones here. Of course, obviously the ones I'm kind of excited about, but oddly enough, odd implementation from the start. Rivers. The thing is that
Yay!
right now it sounds like that they're going to have one river as a
And they're
test.
not telling us where it is. That's
Yeah,
really
they
nice.
better put a marker there because I'm not going to search microtech for one river. That's a bit much to ask anybody to do, unless you can really see it from space. But they better have like a waypoint that goes river or something. Um, and there's
They always when Jared Huckabee brags about, and we've hinted, wink, wink, where it could be.
yeah, this
It's your job to go find
this
it.
is such a hint. And look at this. Look at the hint, guys. I've literally cut out all the footage. Like, here's your hint. Go find it. It's clearly in a green area somewhere on the
Yeah,
planet. I don't think the river has a name. We should maybe come up with one. I think we should go for Richard Trickle. That'd be a good name for one puny river on the planet. Um, that's the name I'm voting for.
they better put their helmets on because they can go deep diving.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, of course now they've had yeah. If you have a helmet on, of course you can go under the water and not drown. Of course, this is going to apply to oceans and things like that as well, and they're going to flesh out the underwater in oceans and things. So we might see, as I
Ooh,
said, another
submarines.
stream. Yeah, well, exactly. We'll expect to see LTI submarine ships.
Yeah,
They've got ground vehicles. They're going to have like mini subs.
the hunt for Red October.
Exactly. So they're going to have underwater thing. Yeah. So now you can use your gravel bikes over water. They just won't sink in and explode. I still don't trust it. I'm sorry. I'm the last person in this universe to trust gravel bikes not to kill me. I do like that. Look at art guys are amazing. The water refractions, and the ship isn't exploding. That's encouraging
I
too.
couldn't believe it's actually put the reflections of the sunlight reflecting up into the ship
hmm
hull
hmm
as it's above the water. It's
It's
like,
gorgeous.
really?
Their art guys are incredible. I mean, you can't deny that
I
the
just
art
feel
guys
sad
sell
for
the
us
game.
because the games can just eat up so
Oh,
much memory.
well, Hero, they don't haven't finished the swimming animations yet. That says that on the little clip there. The animations aren't finished, so we don't. I assume we're going to have swimming at some point. I think they've stated as much, but right now it's just getting the mechanics of not dying underwater. I think is the first thing they're going to do. So if you have your helmet on, you're not going to die underwater. You just start burning up your oxygen. Yeah, I want a fishing net on a dragonfly. That'd be good.
Ooh, there you
Um,
go.
yeah, that'd be good. No, just fishing in general. I mean, I know it's not a big deal for some people, and there's a lot of people who just couldn't care less if we have the game as fishing or not.
Elder Scrolls
But
Fishing
I would like to
Online.
see. Oh, that's weird. You notice that object that pops in and out. Anyway, so yeah, I would like to see something like that because if you're harvesting plants, you're hunting animals, and obviously fishing for survival should be a thing as well down the road. It's important to the survival mechanics of any game to have. I think you come to a body of water that should be important if you're stranded. There's no water. Move along. So I will try my best when this goes to PTU to find this river, and I will share the river. It looks like there's a lake up there if you look at the reflections. So we have to look for a larger body of water. I don't know. I don't know. But it came along pretty well. I think they've done a fairly solid job. This, of course, obviously, if you look at the river system, I think this will tie into roadways. How they can do roads. They can use very similar thing for roadways. And now they just have to create things like bridges if they wanted to. They could basically, so if there's an expanse. Of course, they also have the ability to change the terrain, raising it and lowering it, so they could, technically speaking, they could do even without a bridge by basically having you drive a winding path down a mountain or whatever. We could have some nice initial D moments with an Ursa rover. That'd be even nicer if we had an acceleration throttle and an actual deceleration brake system like you'd find in vehicles normally. Then we could have drift races with different ground vehicles down the way. That'd be pretty good. I guess I'm thinking too much Forza here. Mm. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Hopefully this will. Well, hopefully we see a lot more of these in the near future, and with content related to them. It'd be cool to see AI around them camping. They said they're teaching the AI to use the harvest water for for drinking and stuff like that. It'd be good to see the like you go down to a base. There's a housing establishment next to the water. It's a pirate bay. The point is a whole ecosystem. Like, why was a base put here? A lot of times you see bases and things placed down. You don't see any tangible reason that it was placed there other than it was equally dispersed on the planet between this and the other one. Kind of more of a gameplay. I want to see like they have these things there because it's a resource.
I
Will
remember
water
watching.
clip through the ground vehicles if you drive through? That's a great question. Honestly, probably will.
Hmm.
We already see right now plants, bushes, and trees go to the bottoms of. That's a thing. Like okay, like and that's a good point too. If any of you've watched my Forza streams, you know when you hit a plant or something, it bounces. You can get something stuck on the windshield. They're very good about making sure that things don't clip into vehicles. I don't think I've ever seen anything clip into a vehicle. And so that's a problem Star Citizen has is that things tend to clip into vehicles. Whether if your ship rides low on the landing, the plants will stick through the bottom of it, or you lower the ramp or the elevator, same situation. Or you're just driving along, you can see the bushes and the plants like flying through the vehicle. I know they don't push down yet, stuff like that. They don't have any. The assets don't change as you drive over them, which is something that they're going to need to do to rectify that particular problem. But water is another separate issue entirely. It's not like you can just squish down the water, right? So they're going to have to make sure that the water. Now we have the whole atmospheric system they want to do, where basically you have the atmospheric volumes, where if air can leak from one end to the other, if they applied that to water, could you imagine having opening the door underwater? Like the airlocks would be very important. I wonder if airlocks would also work with underwater too. That'd be interesting. You could start doing what's that game? Lightning really likes it. It's an underwater one. It's kind of a survival game, and you have like a submarine, Subnautica style survival gameplay or something would be interesting. See, when the game goes into the survival mode, when we get to the point where you actually can, crash your ship, be stranded on a planet, I don't want to cheat. A lot of times, I guess we all will at some point, but I don't want to just get on Discord and go, hey, come pick me up or something. I want the buy. I don't want too easy to be too easy to find me. Maybe I can tell them the most. I'm on Microtech, where Northern Hemisphere. Help me, and they have to set on a search party. That's the best I can do. I don't want things to be pinpointed so much that survival has no meaning because basically you picked up in 5 minutes. The survival mechanics can't be too overridden by the accessibility options. It's like you develop these really complex mechanics and then you strip them down with other mechanics to the point that they're not used. Like I don't know, gravity and g forces and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and when you have overpowered mavs and thrusters, right? You take away the responsibility of really piloting your craft when things are so powerful that you override the underlying physics that are there. Yeah, I know you didn't back a survival game. I get that. I don't think anyone did. But if they're going to do it, why do it like and then override it? That's my point. If you're going to do it, or don't do it. Do it or not. There is no try. That whole thing. Um,
This is supposed to be sim light. Why can't we have survival light?
right, right, right. Yeah, toilets. Not getting shot at survival. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just saying is that like you can't build mechanics that defeat each other. You know. Let's see here. So far, we have ships with missing profession loops, ships with missing combat loops, salvage ships with missing salvage loops, fueling ships with missing fueling loops, and now water with missing swimming loops. Let's keep adding more features require features to function properly. Physical beacons have a detection range. Yeah, that's fine. Like you have to be, and also like if you're in a mountain valley, like they wouldn't be able to detect it until they flew over the valley. Like, or you'd have to get up on a mountain. Like, it give you a reason to climb the mountain, to get up to broadcast further.
Okay. I have an example. Back in the 90s, seems a long time ago, but when I was in the Civil Air Patrol, I was trained how to find downed
ELT.
air. I was trained to zero in
Yeah.
on downed aircraft
Yeah. Emergency
beacons.
locator transmitter, ELT. We were both trained on
And
that.
there's satellites that go over the continent so many times a day. in certain areas. They will give you a general area, but they gave you ways to use car radio and also handheld antenna devices. And you had to use by sound and by gauge of the sound to get a bearing. And you might have to go in a circle, stop every once in a while,
Hmm.
point, take a reading. And
Triangulation.
yes, and why can't they do that for search and rescue?
Yeah,
If it was,
I mean they can add depth based upon real world mechanics and dynamics without having to and they don't have to make it so complex and so they don't have to make it complex and unwieldy, but they can look to real world examples as a building block for a gameplay or for a decision, you know, that enhances or adds to the game. They don't have to go all out. They don't have to have that level of precision required. 'Cause ELTs, an ELT is a tricky thing to learn because you when we were first learning that we weren't even close to the mark. It's something you have to get used to using the meter, and you have to get to used to how the readings, and then plot your course on the draw it on the
and
map.
and you had to listen to the sound,
Right.
and so you're using all your senses.
Yeah. It's not something you can just where's the thing? Yeah, I think it's this way. It's not something you can just pick up in a couple minutes. It's pretty cool though. I mean, it's pretty cool to get your hands on something
I
like that.
mean, this was a huge antenna thing that you had to unfold and
Hmm.
hold out in front of you. And you think that the gizmo that Egon and the Ghostbusters used to track down ghosts
Yeah,
that came out little T.
yeah, that's yeah,
This
they're very
this
similar. Yeah,
yeah, it was make it about 4 times as big.
yeah. All right, let's see here.
He had to fold it together when he got back in the vehicle.
Flips table. That's a pretty good little emoji there, clicks. Anyway, so yeah, the so that's where that sits, and I really look forward to seeing how that comes out. We'll see. All right, so there's a couple other things that I want to get into that don't require any background footage here. So let me just kick back into the game. Okay, there we go. Okay, so they had a discussion as well about reputation affecting the way the NPCs interact with you in a more permanent manner. So, like if you uh, build up reputation with the pirates, then the police will attack you on sight, or maybe certain NPCs won't interact with you. There's a lot of considerations that it can put you in they can put you in some weird situations. I can imagine if they don't do it right, where you end up constantly being in jail or something because you end up in the wrong scenario. But the reputation systems for me, I'm really kind of spooked about the way they're going to implement them because I'm already seeing some severe problems with the reputation system. Largely the degradation of the reputation over time. It's too fast. It's way too fast. I don't think it should be there at all. Now, if I work for an organization that's against the organization that's building reputation within, I should build some of one and then lose some of the other, maybe along that route. But I mean, then again, if I work for another company like in a different sector that's their rival, then and now how are they going to find out? There has to, I don't know exactly. Like maybe if the interests collide and end up working like they both are trying to do the same thing or want the same thing, and I end up like working for and it's clear that I'm working for them. Then basically okay, in that particular case, then maybe I'd lose a bit of rep. But I don't like the degradation because I've seen a lot of my reputation. It builds up, it tears down, and it's I don't want to. I Because when you get enough reputation of factions built up, what happens is eventually you can't play the game anymore. You're literally running from faction person to faction person, trying to keep that
Daily.
reputation up. It becomes a grind beyond words, and I don't like that. Once a game becomes a grind, um, you know, to the point that it's a job, people just going to stop playing.
And if something like this is implemented, they need to give you a warning to people who are just starting to do this. Hey, if you accept these missions,
Hmm.
this is going to cancel out these other missions, and
Yeah.
they will. I When you first started Eve Online,
Oh yeah.
just doing the missions, you didn't know that you thought they were just NPCs. Next thing you know, you couldn't go into certain systems without them automatically opening up their gate guns and shooting you.
Right.
It's like, why am I here? This is a neutral area. Well, no, this is Amar, and you've been doing missions against, unless it's Amar extremists. But you had to read carefully, and got to the point where you had to read a lot, where people actually posted it. Don't do these kinds of missions,
Right.
because unless it's an open-ended pirate thing or whatever, next thing you know, your reputation goes in the crapper, and now you're stuck, can't fly anymore in this local area, because if you go out past your area, you'll get shot on sight, and you're like, I didn't do anything. And it's like, well, they didn't warn you about that until long time later, and then you had to train up reputation skills and do all kinds of stuff to kind of get chaotic neutral, so they look at you, but at least you're not flashing red at them when you come in. I can see that. Besides also playing games where, say you quit doing missions for this corporation for a week, and you go, okay, and you go back in, it's like, why have I lost 3 points?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you haven't seen us in a while, so we've knocked you down a few spots.
Right.
Well, that stinks. It's not like I was against your competitor,
Well,
just
that
because.
that I quit doing the whole reputation system Elite Dangerous because the grind was so intense that I literally would have had to stop playing every other game in order to maintain it. It was just ridiculous. I was like, that and engineers broke me on that game. I was like, I'm just done. I'm sorry. I'm just finished. I can't do this anymore. There's other things I want to do. You know, I feel like I should be facing Darth Vader out on here. Like dangling over the
You,
edge. Yeah.
I am your
It's
father.
kind of what the, yeah.
Search your
I
feelings,
want to
you
go on the.
know
I
to
want
be.
to go.
Ah!
Oh, can I go on the ladder? I can go on the ladder. Didn't know that.
Ladders are evil.
I didn't.
Oh, you're kidding
I
me.
didn't know.
Uh-oh.
Just watch me fall into the abyss.
Yeah, you're gonna clip through the planet.
Oh, this is cool. Get off the ladder. Stupid ladder.
I'm not off it. I'm just looking
No,
down.
I know. I tried to get off the ladder and it stuck to the ladder again. Oh my gosh.
The curse of the
Oh
starfarer
my
lives
gosh. This
on.
is like so close to being dead right down here. Oh, this is cool. Right now we have to disable the tractor beam. I think I found the tractor beam controls.
Did you?
I did. All right.
Jar Jar Binks will save you.
Oh gosh, no.
Whoa! What the world?
What?
I'm just standing up here, and all of a sudden I started falling through
Huh?
the railing.
Oh, well, don't do that.
It's like
I
I
can't get your
figured you.
corpse in this planet.
I have a feeling you pushed the gravity button, and I was starting to
No.
float away or something.
Yeah. Let's see here. Starts and personal missions don't tell you they are criminal. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big thing too. That's why I don't even. Oh, contracts available. Need to talk. There's one right there. Yeah, a lot of times you don't know. The lack of information on missions is like, this will raise this faction and lower it with this faction. That would be amazing to know. A lot of the things in Star Citizen right now, they don't provide you with the information you need to make informed decisions at all. Whoa, what the?
Yeah, you're going all over the
That
place.
was a weird animation problem. Okay. Clearly that hasn't been completely fleshed out.
On my screen, you get slingshotted around.
I know. It was weird for me too. I think this is Uncle Crow's right over here. We're right next to. Anyway, so let's see here. Yeah, NPCs will grieve the players. Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
Mm. So many members, member berries. Remember that was star. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Quick, make a force noise. Fart. Force noise. Fart. Oops, too much force. No, it's not. Where's Uncle Crow's? I think it's a door over in this area. Hold on a second. Anyway, I want to go see Uncle Crow's again. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm sitting at the reputation. We'll have to see how they implement it. I think the implementation is going to need a lot of refinement, and I think the degradation needs to go away, unless you work exactly opposite. We all have lives. We don't need sometimes degradation I've seen in certain systems like Eve. If you're offline, like it still goes down. Like whether I can't go this. It's I got hurt by the steam. It actually hurt me.
Oh.
Wow. Anyway, so it'll so they need to make sure that if there is any degradation at all, it has to be when you're online only. I can't find Uncle Crow's. I know it's around here. I've only been there like once.
I'm still hoping that the game speed in general will be a lot slower. I have been attempting to play Star Trek Online again, and my hands, wrists, and fingers hurt. It's like you cannot possibly hit enough keys on the keyboard to stay alive.
Yeah, how hot does that steam have to be to burn through a pressurized suit? That is a great question.
Yeah.
But you see, look, I lost 5% health. I'm not seeing Uncle Crow's. I know it's around here. No, that's not it. All right, we're gonna keep looking. This is my quest. This is my quest. Signage. Signage would be good. Uncle Crow's this way. All right. Kovalik shipping. Anyway, so of course also the kind of the last big topic before we just kind of just open it up to whatever, the forum blow up. Once again, we have another forum. You know, everyone right now is talking about PvP or PvE versus PvE and whatnot.
Oh, the sliders are back again.
Well, it's a topic that it's a very sensitive topic for a lot of people. There's a lot of reasons to be concerned about how it's implemented. Because the difference between PvP and PvE is that if I do PvE all day, mining whatever, it doesn't hurt anybody. Nobody's gonna be bothered by my taking out AI pirates or doing cargo runs. It doesn't hurt anybody. It's 100% consensual, so to speak. PvP can be very much a non-consensual thing where you're just out there mining, and then the CIG likes to show us you take a prospector out. You get blown up because you're flying a prospector. It's not like you can fight back. I mean, you're in a prospector. What are you going to do? The
Mine them to death.
best you can do is run, right? Gravy. I can't find Uncle Crow's. Yeah, the slider. See, they've gone back and forth. I really would wish that they would clearly state their intention about how they want
High
to implement
sec,
that.
low sec, something.
Right. See, the issue with Jumptown is that people aren't taking the PvP missions and just shoot everyone in the ground and not even going for the cargo. Yeah, that's just being a dick. You know, and that's the thing. That's their issue. That's their angle too. Is that people can sometimes just do it they just do it to be jerks. Unfortunately, and that's where I think where a lot of people don't want a PvP. It's not because they like, oh well, you're just a Care Bear, blah blah blah. Like, look, first of all, you know, I do like online races. I used to do PvP in IL2 Sturmovik. You know, a lot of PvP in IL2 Sturmovik. But the thing is that like for me, the mechanics have to be sound. I can't find Uncle Crow's. I feel like such an idiot. It could be a sign right here. Cargo. Okay, Cousin Crow's is over here. Goes this way, I think. It's not Uncle Crow. It's Cousin Crow. Anyway, so I still think like if they want to have one unified universe, the slider's definitely an option. But I think that here's where the slider gets to be a problem, just in general. You can't do a blockade with a slider effectively. I mean, you have the instances and so many ships. Eventually, like if you try to like control an area, then there's enough players in an area, a new area gets generated, everyone gets around your blockade or whatever you're trying to do. It doesn't work. So you can't do that effectively. You lay out mines to defend a base, then you know that someone gets in a different instance. There's no mines in that instance. Oh, it's this way. It's good. Okay, so did I go down here? And so basically, yeah. Cousin Crow. Oh, I found it. Mitskita. All right, Cousin Crows. Your one-stop shop for graffiti and chips. All right. I like this place. It's kind of cool. All right. So there's no perfect answer. There isn't. Anything I say, someone's going to disagree with it. Someone's going to have a better idea, maybe, most definitely. Someone's going to have a different perspective on it. I still very much believe in the idea of the starting system to full expert system, or if you will, or full starting system. The way like Forza treats it, Forza Horizon treats it. No physical collisions allowed. No PvP allowed. But physical collisions as far as players. Like, you can still collide with AI. This gives people the ability to learn to fly together, the ability to learn the mechanics without getting shot down. Payouts are lowest. I like the A system. You step out there for the B system. B systems, no PvP like the ones immediately surrounding it. No PvP. Physical collisions are on. Payouts are just a bit higher. C systems, you spread out from there. PvP is now engaged with high police presence. Collisions are on as well, obviously, from this point on. And then from there, as you push further out of the zones, the defense, the police level, the defense level goes down. The payouts go up, but so does the risk. So risk reward changes, and if someone, the good thing about a system like this is that people can play to the level of their comfort. So if someone never wants to PvP, they can stay in the A system, and they don't, they can just play their Star Citizen experience there. If they're willing to, A and B, I should say, the A and B systems. And then if they want to, get to the gate, they feel more comfortable, they feel more confident, they step out into the C systems, and so on and so forth. See, griefing, set of profiteers, why no pirate gameplay. There's, CIW pirates. Pay $600 for a salvage ship. What years do users tend to roll? Pay thousands for abandonment ship. Wait until it's even playable. Well, the value merchant when I got it wasn't thousands by any measure. It was like a couple hundred. It was cheap back in the day.
You cross chassis did too.
Yeah, it wasn't a very expensive ship when I got it. It's gotten bigger and it's gotten
it's
more
gone
expensive.
up quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's what you talk about, the outlaw systems, right? Could be easily taken over by orcs. Actually, I want that to happen. I want organizations that are pure PvP to fight over territory. I don't mind that. Let them have it. If they're out there fighting each other, they're leaving everyone else alone in the inner systems, right? Generally speaking.
Yeah.
Okay, let them have territory control and conquer. Let them stay out there, and that's what they want. They want to engage in that kind of gameplay. They want combat. They want to take over territories. It's just one of those things that there's like another person here. I like the armor though.
She had her helmet off, and then she just put it on.
But yeah, so I would like to see a progression like that. So as you get more comfortable with the game, eventually you can move into a pure lawless zone, and Right, exactly. But exactly, you can actually go ahead and you don't want a PvP, you don't go to a PvP zone. Oh, is that Rattlehead on the screen? It must be Rattlehead. I think
that's
it's Rattlehead.
Rattlehead.
I guess it's Rattlehead.
See, I don't understand why they don't put people. I guess unless you're in a group,
yeah,
you don't get an icon name.
Makes sense. Rattlehead is stream sniping, as he says.
Oh, naked. Naked.
Here's the thing. Someone asks, what if a solo player just needs to go through that area to reach another system due to it being the only one connecting jump points between them? Well, then CIG needs to give alternative routes. Or like, remember they talked about there would be the major routes and the ones that were more like, okay, the major stable routes. And then you'd have the ones that would waver, that you have to look for. Like you would know that somewhere out on, let's just use typical compass directions, on the north side of the system, just to make it simple, just imagine draw a circle and then all the planets north of that, north on that circle. Somewhere over there is a wormhole. It's not stable, it moves, it shifts, but it will let you get to that other system. And that's a back door. It's a smuggler's gate. Okay, so it would be a matter of knowledge. There would be alternate routes they're not as easy to obtain, but they do allow you to go ahead and bypass some of those things, allow you to move around in those. And if the devs are smart and they allow those things to be, they build those things into the game, then then there's options. You don't have to. Like I'm a criminal now. I have to go to the sector and it's highly lawful. I'm going to get killed most likely. If because I guess it's a stable gate and it's patrolled. Then you can go, okay, well, there's a back gate. I can go this way, and it's going to take longer, and it's a little more dangerous, at least on the travel side of it. Right. Now, if you come across 100 players trying to kill you, your best bet's probably to run. You're not the hero of the story. But yeah, alliances. That's the thing too. We talk about the. This is where pacing comes in handy too. The faster they make the game, the harder it's going to be for these large organizations to have large group battles. They need to keep the pacing down so the netcode can handle it. The more they bring it down, the more we're going to be able to have bigger battles. The perfect example of that's EVE Online. Whenever they want to do large battles, they ask the organizations, please tell us so that we can go ahead and
we'll give
prepare.
you your own server. We'd set things up for you.
Exactly. So
they actually appreciated that so wholeheartedly. Yeah, we'll do it. You tell us the time. We'll try to be accommodating, and we'll do this for you so everything runs smoothly.
Right. And the
developers
but if the game is twitchy and basically it requires too many updates, you're reduced to the amount of people that you can put in an instance. The more and more, I'm probably oversimplifying it, but that's kind of the way I see it. The more data you have to pump through more often, the less extra data you have for other things, updates of other things. Yeah, NPC turret gunners would be a problem right now. I always felt like NPC crew you should hire to I wouldn't expect them initially to be animated. I would expect them just to be sitting in the seats. Like the bare minimum. They wouldn't get up and walk around your ship, let's put it that way. If you got like a turret gunner, initially when they put the system into place, they would just teleport into the ship. They'd be on the turret.
I think they'd be like really cheap slave. When I say slave, no, I'm talking about like computer run.
Oh yeah, NPC. Well, I had a feeling, honestly, the NPC taxi missions would be dumped, and because of the fact that we don't have server meshing, we barely have the planetary meshing. The AI, come on, they can't even get them to sit on seats correctly. Do you think they're going to get them to go ahead and walk outside and load onto your ship? I'm just sorry, but until they resolve some of these issues, the only way that would work is if they were teleported directly into your ship, and they were just sitting there. And when you landed, they would be unloaded like cargo. I don't see any other way that would be a thing. So, yeah, I'm not surprised there. Yeah, pathing for every ship in the game. I think that's why they've already built them as big as they have, because of pathing issues. And we'll have to see if they have navigation. And then now you have to have pathing for them, like how they can walk around. But then they have to know what every system is. They have to understand when a system is damaged. They have to know how to deal with that, how to walk down there, how to interact. Part of me says, like, I see that ship, like there's an interaction button down there. Like part of me is like I think, like, I don't know. I thought maybe I could get down there. It's like, that's so tempting. Like, is there a way down there? Like, I could just steal the ship right out of Uncle, whatever.
I saw an icon for a ladder on one of the ships a minute ago.
I think Uncle Crow, because I think Ruby, that thing, sticks in my head. Uncle Crow. Yeah, they said, well, come on, let's just be realistic about it. There's no way they can make AI NPCs indistinguishable from humans. Like, the one guy in the crowd that's wearing armor is a player. It's that simple. The players are going to distinguish themselves by what they wear, all of it. If you're running around a town full of civilians and like these people here, like, which one is a player? I wonder which one of these is not like the other. Can you tell? Here, I'm hiding myself among the NPCs. Can you tell which one is a player? Good luck. You know. I know it's magic, huh? Where's Waldo? Where's Waldo for idiots? There's one guy on a page. Where's Waldo? So yeah, that alone, and not to mention the fact that AI tends to be very predictable, where players will do a lot more unpredictable things, obviously, because they're people. They panic. They come up with different strategies. They withdraw. Um, you know, they get vindictive if they're going to die. They're going to try to ram you. When I don't imagine AI would try to do that intentionally, instead of if it's a desync issue. Um, yeah, if they're going to force clothing in a popular area, then they better let my ship stay in the hangar bay longer than 15 seconds. So that obviously, I don't know. I still don't know why my Cutlass Black is sitting over there, because they said they were storing it like before the stream started.
They're storing parts of it.
Yeah, parts of it. I come back in there, it's just the landing gear sitting there. Like, oh, great, thanks, guys. Yeah, Tony sees Quanta. That's why you need server meshing for Quanta.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The whole system, Quanta relies on it. You got the planetary server meshing, which is going to rely on Quanta. The NPCs and fauna on planets are going to require server meshing. The Quanta system will handle not only the NPCs, but it's also going to handle herds of animals. Right? Generally speaking, it's going to have blips on the planets where these animals are going to exist, and it'll be more fleshed out when you get closer to them. That all has to be handled through the iCache server meshing in Quanta. And those three, I see them as being, they have to exist at the same time. They have to make this work. And this is why this whole year is going to be a desert that we've never seen before. It's going to make the Sahara seem like an oasis, in my opinion. And I hope I'm wrong. I truly hope that I'm wrong. But I think this is going to be the worst year for content in Star Citizen, unless they manage to somehow pull off a miracle. This is going to be, in my opinion, the worst year. And I don't even see doing these shows every week just for that reason. I'll consolidate thoughts and then do a show. I mean, like right now, the last time I looked at was February 7th, so literally a month ago. I've also been working a lot, to be fair, but, yeah, NPCs do ram me all the time. Your adventures could be on blocks. Well, yeah, the positional desync, that needs to be fixed, but I think that will get fixed a bit with, I mean, not all the way, but quite a bit by pacing. If the ships weren't so erratic in the way that they moved, we would have less desync. If you have in
if
time
things ran slower,
yeah,
it'd be easier in the servers.
If there was less difference between possible points of movement between server update 1 and server update 2, then when those updates happen, it would be more accurate. But as it stands right now, as the attention performing under routine maintenance. Oh, okay. Stay away from the edge. That's new. Please precaution the platform is in motion. Huh. Okay. Anyway, I wonder if this whole thing will shake. Anyway, so this is where it goes back to the pacing, even the rate of projectiles and things like that. It's just stand by. Oh, I want to see what's it. Elevator correction. Let's see what happens. I'm curious. Oh, there's firing off right there. See the fire. Look down there by the Cutlass. See the flames, the white. That's the afterburner. Look at the Cutlass. See the white across the way. See the white.
I'm still trying to see the
Cutlass. It
Cutlass.
just turned off. The Cutlass was right.
Yeah. Now I see it.
Yeah, that was the engines of the station correcting the elevation.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I thought I'd point that out. That's pretty awesome. I like the little details like that. Yeah. Well, static server mesh was pushed back again, either in the next end of the year or next year. Oh gosh. Yeah, ISC episodes are getting pathetic, guys. They are. It's like 3 minutes of or 4 minutes pontificating out of an 8-minute episode, and it's just.
What did we learn today, kids?
Oh. So what did we learn this week? We learned that I can spend an entire week making an 8-minute video. We learned that we can say the same thing over and over again, and not actually, and we can show you lots of pretty stuff, and then not be able to put it in the game. I don't want to rip on. I like the artists. I'm not a big fan of the host. Let's put it that way. I'm not a big fan of the host.
He likes to be dramatic, like he's trying to. I don't know what he's trying to
He's
do.
like he's trying to be an animated cartoon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it wears on me as a grown human being. Let's see here. Yeah, major landing zones with static meshes first. No, that wasn't a graphic glitch at all. That's one of the cool little details. That art guys are amazing. Yeah, 4 minutes of information and 6 minutes of Jarek's explaining what he said incorrectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you know what, when I had to cut footage, when I would cut footage for the show, it used to take me a lot longer. Because it was one of those things that it was I would
At
spend
least he's doing it mostly at the end now,
Mhm.
so you just ignore it. The last part of the video
Yeah. When I get to the what did we learn this week, I'd stop the video.
off.
I don't watch any further than that. That's that literally might as well be the end title card for me. But done. Uh, see inside session. Oh, look at blue car. All print static meshing 2024. Yeah, we don't hear the word pyro anymore. Exactly. Road to the
Yeah.
river. Watch, we'll have roads that go under the rivers. It'll be like, how's this work? If they have roads that cross rivers, then they better make bridges that go over rivers. Right?
Remember a long time ago, they had a developer sit down and make like a small outpost on a planet,
Mm-hmm.
and it had like a lake, or not a lake,
Right,
it
I
was like a
remember that. Yeah.
pond.
They're showing how they do it. Yeah, the
And
artist
I
driven.
thought that was so awesome. Then I thought you talking about the water,
Mm-hmm.
and you could say that water was used. Say that was major water left over from, or they used that water for water mining,
Oh,
for
that's
mining underground,
mm-hmm.
because that's how they did a lot of. Well, they still.
uh,
I mean, nowadays they use high
uh,
pressure water as a
why is
drill
it? Look at this.
source.
There's a whale out here on this balcony, like the little stuffed whale. Look at the window.
Yeah, there is.
Um.
His
So
his
yes,
eyes.
so like that server mashed potatoes. Yeah. So Nix is pretty much done. Yeah. Nix is a small system. Nix only has a couple places to go. Nix is probably one of the easiest systems you could finish. Pyro is probably mostly done too. I think with the river system, they're going to put lava flows in on some of those planets. Oh, server frame rate just went to crap.
Oh yeah, I'm down into the
Wow.
fives now.
Yeah, it's hurting for me too.
It's eh, eh.
Oh, it's wow. That got bad. Um. Yeah, landing assist in start at 3.0. Yeah, you're getting a 13. Yeah, we're all hurting here, and it's like
Yeah.
now it's back up a bit.
There's 10. It's gone from
It's
5 to 10.
random. It's
Yeah.
random. You think it's like global warming just a miss? Well, the term they use actually is climate change, and that's because climate does always change. I
Yeah.
don't know how we're going to have climate that doesn't change, but
I'm sorry, but when I watched a
it is what it
Weather
is.
Channel executive flat say the other day, server, for seconds it starts as not responding. State that, you know, to the effect, there is no such thing as climate change. It's always changing.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. Look, I don't care about that. We're all gonna be irradiated before that happens anyway. So let's just not worry about the long term effects. We're just gonna go ahead and glow in the dark. That would be a perfect excuse for Star Citizen not to get released. Well, we were gonna release server meshing this year, but the Third World War broke out, so we're gonna have to delay it a bit. We'll have our Third World War ship sale. That's what we'll have, and then we'll have a special on that. In fact, what we'll do is we'll sell the military Hercules so you could drop big bombs. That will be the sale.
Moabs.
But yeah, we can drop. Now we've had they'll add a new variant that drops nukes. That's what they'll do. Yeah, but you have to drop them from 1,500 meters because they'll disappear otherwise. You have to blow yourself up in the process. I hate the fact that when I bomb in that ship, you've got to pretty much be sitting on whatever you're bombing. It's so lame.
That's how you carpet bomb in real life. You don't expect any explosions to come back up.
Yeah, you don't expect anyone to shoot at you. There's no reason you want to be up at 40,000 feet and then drop a bomb. Oh, I know. All these features they were out supposed to be at 3.0 that are still not out, and what 3.16, almost 3.17. We don't have desync. Our eyes are lagging.
Yeah.
Um, 3.0 was supposed to have OCS. We didn't get that to 3.2. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I'm a minimalist, so there's really not much more that I can do if there is a situation. I mean, other than living in a box or whatever. I don't know what the thing is like the people telling you this are they're on their own private jets and they're flying around whatever. Okay, so that's not here or there. It's not really related to Star Citizen, but the hypocrisy bothers me just in general. Um, let's see here. They make changes to our ships and physically see it like at the computer. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It would be. I mean, you make a change to the ship and you get to watch it happen here. I mean, it'd be more interesting than this thing. You know, you just go ahead and press this and now you're just. Oh, I guess it didn't store my ship. It's not even listing it. Wow. It's literally still sitting in there.
Every time I look to my left, right now, it's showing the Cutlass Black.
Yeah, yeah, it's there forever.
So they must not be wanting Pad 7.
Just not. Yeah, it's yeah. I think a lot of us are concerned about that kind of stuff. But you know what? Um,
Well, I
yeah,
guess it's at 9 this time.
it's really one of those things, guys. That I don't. Just generally speaking, I don't live my life in fear, and I sure as heck don't shake my fist at the sky thinking that's going to change anything. There's a bunch of madmen who are in control of a lot of stuff, and what can I do, honestly? Um, it's just one of the things, guys. We just have to hope for the best, or whatever the best is, and just keep living life. Obviously, since the last show we did, there wasn't a war going on in the Ukraine, right? So I guess it's definitely a topic. Well, not related to Star Citizen. It's definitely on all of our minds. Um, everyone likes to paint each other as the villain. Truth, the first victim in war is always the truth. Um, you know, if you look at the NATO negotiations and treaties, you understand that we have pushed way farther than the red line that we made an agreement with Putin not to do what he said he would retaliate if we did. We're way past that line. So for him, it's like we're encroaching, and it's our like the Cuban Missile Crisis from his end. And if they get Ukraine into NATO, then there could be literally missiles like nuclear missiles like right off his border. I mean, like connected to his border. So I mean, it's not black and white. It isn't, and I'm not going to pretend I know all the dynamics because nobody does. And I'm just, I just I do a job and I do a streaming and so many people have their own objectives and things they're trying to do, manipulate. For me, it's just, I'm going to live life because that's all I can do right now, you know. Anyway. So yeah, guys. Cheers. Kampai. Um,
Hi.
Kampai.
If there's anything I can help you with.
Yeah, where's my pizza?
Yeah. 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 So it's not like we were energy independent a few years ago or anything like that.
No.
No. Not.
And
Not.
actually exporting
Yeah.
oil. Drinking that water.
Woo. Anyway. So yeah, guys, I think it's about everything I wanted to cover. Let me check my list real quick right here. So yeah, I think we're gonna, we always see these cyclical blow ups in the on the forums. That it was flight a couple of like last month, flight mechanics still somewhat to some degree. This time it's PvP and PvP sliders. It'll be something else. It's like the Ouroboros of discussions in some regards. But that's largely CIG's fault for not being clear. It's largely CIG's fault for not having certain things nailed down more securely. Yeah, 500 500 rattlehead for littering.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's the they talk about transparent development and there's that, but it's also like when you don't clearly mark out your objective. Just like what I talk about when it comes to testing. When a form you fill out for testing says how does it feel, it doesn't mean anything. You need to say what you're trying to do and are we getting there. And that's the big problem with Star Citizen. A lot of this is they don't tell you what they're trying to do, So people fight about it. They're not clear. And the lack of clarity, I think, is unfortunately very intentional because um, they um, they can frankly they can sell more ships. If the game is everything to everybody before they lock it down, then they can sell it to everybody. And then they could just say, well, look, you backed a project that we were going to make, whether or not you like the game or it isn't, I don't see them going down the arcade route ultimately because it wouldn't work with the rest of the game. But right now, part of me says that the reason they did what they did to some degree, and this is me being as nice as I can possibly be, was just to bring in as many people as possible. But now they got a mess to clean up. They got a big mess to clean up. And it's going to take, way more time. But yeah. If anybody starts any more than I do, I'll outright quit. Yeah, I get in from time to time, and we may do a mission or something like that, but there's not enough gameplay loops to make it viable. That's the big sad thing about this, because these places are gorgeous. These things are amazing. Oh, we'll go over and buy this. I mean, it's so cool. The environments, the graphics, the way they make you feel when you're in these places. But it's just, as I said, it's like you've got a sandbox, but you don't have like shovels and buckets, and you're not allowed to really even dig into the sand. It's just, for the most part, it's just there. So here's hoping for some tools to make a nice sandcastle someday.
The river will just run through it.
Yeah,
run right through the sand.
Make your ship explode. Let's see here. CIG stated release beta intention in five star systems. They can't even finish that. Well, Leno Pyronix, I think those are being finished in the background. That would get them 3. They would need at least one system that would be for I just don't know why the name just fell. The Vanduul. Oh gosh, not that again. That's the worst. The Vanduul system, so we could experience that. We're gonna have a lawless system. We have a lawful system. We have probably more of a neutral system in Nyx. And then
the Vanduul actually brought up in the last Star Citizen thing.
Mm-hmm.
They actually said the question out loud and then answered it so dumbly. What happened to the Vanduul? Are they still in the game? It's like, really?
Yeah. Well, they would need to establish systems that test basic factions, different like you could have the Vanduul and the Vanduul system jump into a human system, and then you have the interactions there, like an attack from the nearby system and a counterattack back into that system. So and that would be an event they could create.
Kind of like a Xeno threat.
Yes, but actually like a Vandal threat or something.
Yeah.
For lack of a better name. But they need it like these things are about establishing mechanics or placeholders to create these different scenarios and whatnot. So they would need. I don't know if maybe they could have one system that's Banu, or something like that. So we can start seeing interacting with some other alien races, or maybe like one system that's trade heavy, like like something like Stanton, which is kind of like, it's not really trade heavy per se. It's not. Maybe it's maybe it's better at resource gathering. I don't know, because there's a big asteroid belt, and I remember in the original pictures when there's the asteroid belt right here. You can see it right here on the screen. This hasn't been fleshed out yet at all. I believe that's an asteroid belt between ArcCorp orbit and Crusader's orbit. So this would be a good place for mining in general, and there should be a good amount of resources in the system that can be harvested. So, you can imagine having the systems having their own different flavor. I really want to see this asteroid because I would like to just be able to set my course and then pick a spot over at the asteroid field. And how you go to Yella, and you have the asteroid field around it, and you can you get Grim Hex in the asteroid field. and you can jump through the asteroids. There should be like a mass detection. Like you can't jump until you're a certain distance away from an asteroid or something like it's a safety thing, right? Or it just interferes with the technology. So like they tell, oh, you can't, they're worried. How do you stop people from jumping out or jumping? You just basically just it's a mass thing. If you're in an asteroid field, you have to leave the asteroid field to make a jump. This way you can't have people just flying around an asteroid field and hiding and then just jumping through rocks and getting away. You forgot a decimal. Yeah. 1.3%. Or did you mean 130%? Is that what you mean? Yeah, I don't mind the spline jumping as long as it doesn't take me into the atmosphere. I think it should be the player's responsibility to set more exactly where they want to go on the spline, and then they have to approach landing at a better angle. Like if I take my reclaimer and nose down straight into the planet to land, I should die. I should die pretty bad. Like when we were approaching this planet, I was making a statement to my brother on the way down that I had to have my thrusters up all the way to go down. Now, what I should have been able to do if I wanted to descend is just shut the engines off and fall. But I shouldn't have my thrusters running at 60% nose down in order to and I shouldn't have my speed was decreasing along the way because of the artificial reduction. I should have been with 60% engine power thrust, nose down, descending towards a planet. I should have been speeding up to the point of terminal velocity where the ship rips itself apart. In that case, I'd want to approach it at a better angle, and I'd want to approach it at a more reasonable speed. But the way it is right now, literally, ships don't feel like they can even fall very much. They feel like that they can do it if you decouple and, for the most part, don't input, and then they start to slowly fall. But the fact that I've got my engines on and I'm pushing down, I still can't accelerate. That makes no sense. When we play the games like DCS or whatever, or IL-2, if you're in a dive that's strong enough, you will rip your wing off.
Rip the wings right off the plane.
And that should be a risk. If you talk about having on the ships to have the SDF, the sign distance fields, which can measure a drag on a ship and things like that. Well, that could be used to figure out also the stress. How much. Maybe I'm asking for too much. Maybe I'm asking for a developer that hasn't figured out how to make flight controls, how to incorporate drag or damage on anything. I sometimes feel like I'm asking them to walk on the moon when they haven't figured out how to open the door of the house. So it's kind of tricky. But I see all this potential in what they could do. And then I'm kind of dismayed by the fact that I don't hear really them talking about ideas like this. At least maybe not anymore. Or Marcus kind of dismayed. Well, I guess kind of yeah. I have a future with it, but we can't get spirit not simulated. Some of CIG claims it's accurate. I won't name names. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, Caracol's nose to surface video was something I'd done before as well. In fact, it was almost line of defense levels of annoyingly ugly.
Oh yeah.
And it's like people try to argue it, like, oh, in the future, like, dude, do you want a gameplay where you actually fly your ship, or do you just want to press a button and go make a sandwich? Well, I don't get the point of automating and minimizing the value of flight to the point that it's absolutely just a pointless automated junk experience. Why would you do that? Why would you want that? I mean, oh, you can point nose down. Those creatures are great. Well, the next time that you're on foot and there's a guy looking for you in a ship and he's just flying nose down, and then he sees you as you try to take cover behind a rock because you couldn't break view because he could just float over the top of you, and now your rock has no cover value because he can just point straight down and shoot you. Remember, anything that you ask for can be used on you. These people, they don't have the thought process to see, they see themselves as the pilot and not the guy on the ground. That never connects. They don't see that they can't put themselves in that position yet. And I tell you, I really, and I don't know for certain, but I truly believe that's why we haven't seen theaters of war, because things don't mesh. And until we see the flight models and stuff like that come together, we're not going to see theaters of war, guys. I don't know how many Evocati's builds it's been since I've seen playtested theaters of war again. But as I said, from what I experienced, I knew exactly how it was going to play out, and I was in the first few minutes, and I was like, "Yep, I'm gonna go do something else." Just like it was predictable. It was blatantly predictable, the outcome of that. And it's just like you're playing 3 different games that don't mesh. They just don't mesh. It's sad because you want it to. Yeah, I don't want to fly a helicopter. I want to fly a spaceship. The starships, they have their own physics too. They should write a contract with Derek Smart. Once your game Battleship 3000 AD sells 1,000 copies, they'll hire him. That's a safe thing to bet. It's a game given out for free, so that'll never happen. It's a game they should almost pay you to play. Yeah, I want communism because I'm going to be the guy at the top with other billions of people. Oh, guys. Yeah, it's... Theaters of War, the general concept is to test interactions between ground vehicles and players and ships. And everything that I predicted, the way it felt, was so telling. And I think that's why, until we see the remodel of the flight, and then they have to re-examine their mechanics. They have to mesh. They've got to. Let's see here. Pull your lip overhead and swallow. Your nose is too big to pull your lip over your head. Are you like? Are you related to Jimmy Durante? It's my nose's birthday, not mine. And I'm proud to say that she knows is doing fine. Anyway, but yeah, guys, I think we'll just wrap it up there a bit. I think we've covered everything we can, and as I said, I'll keep you guys informed if we do another show or talk about these things. I just want to open up the forum from time to time. I honestly think there's not going to be a whole lot of shows this year until we get some real concrete stuff to talk about, because they are just keeping us in the dark. And our 8 minutes of Inside Star Citizen, minus 4 minutes of Jared Huckabee, is not going to cut it.
I'm surprised he didn't bring up, no, guys, I haven't moved to the UK yet. That's been brought up so many times. Like, okay.
I used to look forward to Inside Star Citizen, or whatever version it was, Round the Verse, whatever it used to call back in the day. It was like, it was more energetic. It was more interesting. There was more footage. There was more discussions. And now it's just like...
I feel like it's
Star Citizen Live this week is going to be... I guess the Inside Star Citizen might be a little bit of something, but the Star Citizen Live is going to be... I think it was the art department again. I mean, I love the art department. I'm looking around, it's gorgeous, but I can't really do much with that. So I doubt there's going to be a show next week, just because it looks like we're I mean, what I'll do is I'll try to consolidate these things a little bit, things that kind of come up during the course of whatever. And if it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or it's another month, whatever, we still do the Hangout streams on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And if we do another stream during the course of the week, I'll post on it. But right now, as I said, I'm working, with the exception of tonight, I've been pretty much working 7 days a week. And it doesn't give me a lot of extra energy to do much of anything, honestly. It just doesn't look right. It's just turning and just no animation there whatsoever. And it's either no animation or spastic animation. Yeah, road network, well, water down the river. Yeah. If it releases and we're still in Squadron 42. Yeah, well, the problem was that my job, there was 2 people who could cover for me when I had nights off, And one of them, they knew they were leaving February 5th, and then I told basically the boss, like, look, we got one person left, and if they leave, and they've talked about it, they basically only decided to stay on part time at this place just to help me out occasionally, because they just, it's this woman, she just got engaged, and I told her, look, I'm not mad at you. I get it. You're trying to line up with your fiance. You're trying to start a life together. You're trying to move into a new place. You want to have kids, and you don't want to be day and night. You want to actually live in the same life cycle. I'm not mad at her whatsoever. I'm upset at the fact that this was coming. I knew it was. Everyone knew it was coming, and he did nothing. And anyway. It is what it is. See, Squadron 42 needs to be deployed for everything. Any good reason to be far behind. Yeah, I think they're pushing 42 to be done. But boy, how can they get 42 out the door with flight mechanics not being finalized? Someone explain that to me. Because you're gonna have to retool AI, all of it. Look like Bug Eye, scary as hell. Look at that. That's creepy. Get real close to this, Tyler. Come here. Look at the helmet's eyes. This is the creepiest dang eye. I think those are scarier than the teddy bears. Look at that. What creepy that is. 24/7 surprised. Yeah, Picarista.
The scary thing is it's got the ultimate weapon, the multi-tool.
Mega kawaii.
Look at that multi-tool.
It's like your Picarista no panda. I don't know. Look, a surprised panda. Oh, goodness gravy. Weird. Get away from me. Anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, so it'll be, yeah, I could see them having to, like, day 1 patch or day 50 patch Squadron because of the fact that it's going to be so, so messed up. But then you got to retool your AI, you retool your mission. It's just, I hope to see what Yogi and Coulson come up with. I hope it's good. I hope it's good enough that if they have to make adjustments, it's not a huge adjustment. I expect them to make adjustments. It's an MMO. You make balance changes and passes forever. But it's got to be something in the ballpark this time, or the game is completely screwed. So, all right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and call it there. I'm gonna go ahead and get up and make some dinner. Or food. Food is good. And then I'm gonna go help Lightning Dragon with his. We're going to do the Forza weeklies, which are surprisingly simple this week. And we're just going to chill out and talk
other
and hang
people
out.
who can make it simple decide that I need to be first and run you off of checkpoints to make you lose points for the whole team.
Yeah, just going to have a conversation with Lightning. I haven't talked to him this week yet. Just kind of see how he's doing. And here's hoping that there's more information soon. But animation movements aren't done. But yeah, the animation is pretty sketchy. I mean, just look at the way Rattlehead's moving. It says it all for the animations. It's really sketchy.
You didn't see that the NPC was kind of like wrapping his hands around Rattlehead's butt.
Yeah, it's too janky. Look how janky that is. It's just janky. Yeah. Nothing can be done for it.
There's no smoothness.
There's no smoothness in it at all. It's everything about it is just. Ugh. I hate to say it. When Arma has more organic animations than you have for ground movement,
yeah,
you got a problem. All right, guys. We'll get you soon. Thanks for coming out and participating and all that. And
just think, they hired so many first-person shooter developer teams.
You think they at least get that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think. Yeah, desync makes it worse, too. Yep, exactly. Pacing.
Mm-hmm.
Desync. Guess we'll see if it gets better. Rattlehead's raiding away. All right, guys. Catch you in the next one. Bye, Rattlehead.
Bye, Rattlehead. Where's grass?